Right then, so things are heating up in South Africa as an inquiry commission looks into graft allegations in the public sector. The former Deputy Finance Minister, Jonas, has told the commission that a senior Hawks official asked him to sign a statement denying that Ajay Gupta tried to bribe him. Now, Ajay was accused of trying to bribe Jonas with about $42 million or so into taking the post of finance minister. The Hawks are a police unit set up by the former President Jacob Zuma to investigate organized crime, corruption and economic crimes as well. Now, according to Jonas, the senior Hawks official asked him to sign the statement in the presence of his lawyers. All right, then, quite a bit to get through in the hearings today. For our guide today, let's join Angela Kopile, who joins us now live from Johannesburg, South Africa. Angela, the Guptas are still out of the country. Has there been any effort whatsoever made by the authorities in Pretoria to get them back to face trial?
Well, look, the last known sighting of one of the brothers was in South Africa, and that was Ajay. He was spotted at the Optimum coal mine, which you know is now in business rescue. That was in Mpumalanga in February. As for the other two brothers, well, there's no confirmed sightings of them. Ajay was also apparently spotted in Dubai in April, according to a prominent South African business person who bumped into him there. The next report of a Gupta sighting was in May in India, but again, nothing confirmed. The country's new police minister, Mcebisi, said that he would leave no stone unturned in bringing the Guptas back to South Africa to face the music. As of yet, though, all we hear is crickets or the sound of silence. You'll recall also that the Guptas are also persona non grata with the Indian tax officials, and again, they were a no-show there for a hearing by the tax officials. So we'll see Mcebisi manages to bring them back, but as it stands right now, nobody's quite sure where they are, Raman.
All right, so let's pull back a bit. Walk us through the sequence of events here that essentially led to this $45-odd million bribe being offered to the former Deputy Finance Minister.
Well, look, it's the first public airing of his version of events. So first there was the $64,000 cash offer, followed by that 45 odd million incentive. That was at the Gupta compound in Saxonwold, which is an affluent suburb near the city zoo. The Gupta brother pointed to Zuma's son, who happened to be in the room, Duduzane, explaining that it made him a billionaire. Then came the death threat if he disclosed any meeting or any details of the meeting, its contents, or that it actually happened. Jonas says he then approached the finance minister at the time, Nene, and told him that he was about to lose his job. He also spoke to Pravin Gordhan, who was then the cooperative governance and traditional affairs minister at the time, and Gordhan suggested that Jonas should actually resign. Then followed another meet with Nene and Jonas, this time on the balcony outside his office, because both men were concerned that their office was being bugged with listening devices. That's when they decided to stay in office. Unfortunately, not long thereafter, Nene, of course, was replaced by weekend special Des van Rooyen. You'll know that he got his nickname because he was essentially finance minister for a weekend before Gordhan was forced down Zuma's throat. So that's the sequence, and that's allegedly according to Jonas's testimony today, Raman.
Right, he also had some interesting testimony with regard to the Hawks, this elite crime-fighting unit. He basically says that they gave him a pre-written statement that says, look, none of this ever happened, and they told him to sign it. Tell us more about that.
Well, look, we were sitting in the gallery, or in the cheap seats, as it were, listening to Jonas as he delivered this, and there were gasps as he spoke through what actually happened. It wasn't a low-level Hawks operative either. That was a general. So probably he was that person was head of the anti-corruption unit, ironically, as Jonas tells us. But he was presented with that statement, prepared by a senior advocate, and here's where it came back, and it will come back to bite the advocate, because it appears that the commission head, Chief Justice or Deputy Chief Justice Zono, actually wants to have the name of that advocate. Jonas says he can't remember, except to say that it was an Afrikaans sounding name, but they actually want to bring that senior advocate in front of a commission of inquiry and have him maybe disbarred even for presenting that document as a fait accompli. So Jonas says he's refused to sign the document. The meeting then ended with Jonas not signing and walking out, but Jonas says that the meeting and its direction confirmed his earlier concern, because when he was with the Gupta brother, he told him that the Guptas had control over everything, including the Hawks. And that was at that bribe and ministerial post-offering meeting that happened between Gupta, Jonas, Zuma Jr. and controversial business person Fana Hlongwane.
Right. One last question for you, Angelo. Where does Duduzane Zuma, the former president's son, where does he fit into all of this?
Well, it was Duduzane Zuma who was instrumental in setting up that meeting between Jonas and the Gupta brother. I'm purposely not mentioning the name of the Gupta brother here because Jonas himself isn't 100% certain who he actually met. Anyway, Duduzane got Jonas to the hotel in Rosebank and then convinced him to meet in a more private place. Jonas says that he thought they'd be going to an office. They in fact landed up at the Gupta compound in Saxonwold, which is about 10 minutes away from the hotel. Duduzane introduced the two to each other, and then he and Hlongwane, who had arrived separately, sat quietly in the corner while the Gupta brother did his sales pitch. According to Jonas, Zuma Jr. was his point of contact after that initial meeting, and there were several phone calls, texts, SMSs, WhatsApps between the two. Jonas, according to his testimony, was of course dodging this follow-up meeting with the Gupta brother while he consulted with Gordon and with Nene. Raman?
Indeed, quite this story. We'll leave it there for the time being. That's Angelo Couple, of course, live in Johannesburg, South Africa.